Hey, it's the vwnut garage. What you guys are looking at, you're looking at the ginormous power plant on my redneck lawnmower, lawn tractor, whatever you want to call it. It still has the governor in it, and so in this video we're going to get the engine off and get to seeing what it takes to get the governor out of here. I'm going to start by removing this heat shield, and then I'm going to move on to whatever appears to be the next thing. It looks like I need to make some clearance for the exhaust to get the engine out of there. I've drained all the oil out of it. The gas is completely out of it. So let's get started. Tip it forward. I may have to take this off. So we'll move to the bottom bolts now. I'll get you guys in a position where you can see what I'm doing. All right, so small change of plans. Instead of laying on the ground, I decided to stand the mower up to at least get 3 of the 4 engine mounting nuts off of there. So I figured I better turn on the camera while I go to picking this thing up, trying not to drop it on my show car. A little something like that. Now I'll be able to get you guys in place to see what I'm doing. Well, first things first, I got to, I wonder if first thing's ever third. I got to get the right size socket first. And then I have to take this bolt out to get the pulleys off. Alright, so now I'm going to attempt to get this loose. I may have to turn on the air compressor and get the air ratchet out. We're going to try and hold this belt right here good and tight and see if I can't break this loose. Maybe. Alright, so I got rid of the extension and I managed to get enough torque on there to get that one to come loose. So pretty sure it's probably close to being in the shot. Watch your toes. Alright, so we got it on the ground, no problems. Just going to take that one bolt loose as soon as I take off that throttle cable right there and that choke cable right there. But you know, she's not a big fan of the winter. She wants to be inside right now. Come here. Even though she was laying right next to the heater. Come here. Come here. Alright, you guys help me remember. There's one little plug right here off of the positive battery cable that goes right to the starter. There was one multi-plug that goes from probably the dashboard to the engine, and then just the throttle and choke cables. I'm going to take that last engine mounting nut free, and then I'm going to lift it out of there, and it should be a-okay. Alright, well that should do that. Let's get this, get to yanking on it and setting it up over here on the bench so I can get a better look at it. Alright, well, we're looking at the bottom of the mower engine right now, and all of these little bolts, they come off of there, so that bottom cover then slides off, and that gives us access to the governor, which is going to be right behind in here. Maybe, best guess, it's right in here somewhere. It's where everything seems to be running. So I'm going to start by setting this back down on the floor, spraying the stuffings out of it with some spraying the stuffings out of it with some carb engine cleaner, and blowing her out with some compressed air, and then we'll get her back up on the bench all nice and clean. And I don't think that the poor redneck mower's muffler was doing a whole bunch, so we'll add that to the scrap pile. So I set it on some cardboard to get most of the heavy stuff off of there. We're just waiting on my super huge compressor to blow her off one more time, and then we'll take her back over to the bench and start getting into her. Cover your ears and your eyes. Much better than it was. I'm gonna hose her off one more time, get her over on the bench, and taking her apart. Okay, grab that, set her up here. Alright, we'll get you guys a view, and go. It's 7 or 3/8, probably 7, probably 10, but it's probably 10. Perfect fit. Are you guys paying attention? This is where I'm going to stab myself in the hand, probably. Okay, where are you guys at? Right there. So this right here is what connects to the governor inside. That's operating on the butterflies on the side of the carburetor. So all of this mess right here, to me, looks like it can just go away for now. Because where we're going to run the throttle cable off of now is going to be in there somewhere. Somehow, somewhere. So I'll get to taking this mess off of here now that we know where we're going, and I'll bring you guys back when I go to separate that and pull that off of there. Alright, so this is the governor right here. So I've taken this loose right here. We won't be using this again, so we'll just take this right out of here. That right out of there. A little bit of separation right there. We'll get this unhooked here. Add this to the parts bin. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. There is a little retaining ring right there that needs to come off once I get inside there, and then we'll be in. So there's like 1, 2, and I'm going to show you how I can count 5 or 6 or 10, maybe 12 10mm bolts. We're going to get them taken off of there and to looking inside this engine. So bring you guys right back. Alright, so we got that off of there. Here is the arm or the hockey stick or whatever you want to call it that operates this gear right here, and that is what controls the governor, if you will. So you should just be able to pop that right off of there. That should come right off of there. Take that washer out because we don't want that floating around in the engine. And the rest of that right there can stay just like that. You can keep these if you want. If you need them, leave it in the comments. I will mail this to you anywhere in the world if you would like this. We'll put it right there on the speaker just in case. And we'll knock this little, there's a little ring right here that wants to come off of there. I don't know if that's, I think maybe I'd rather use this. My fat head in the way probably, but you know. Sorry, got you guys hooked up. Alright, so I'm working right here on this little, it's just a little retaining clip. And then there's a little plastic one underneath of it. Then I'm going to dig around in here a little bit and see if there isn't. I think that probably takes care of it. We'll give it a couple of taps and see. Try to remember that I'm working inside a, oh yeah. So the, I need to put that back and stop the oil from flooding all over the place. Any second now. All over the bench and all over the place. We'll use this here white shirt. Alright. So the crank is right in the way. So we'll try and get that back up in there so that we can rotate the engine around freely. Use this here semi-clean rag. Alright, so I got that rolled out of the way, and get to giving this a little extra attention here. Right tool for the right job, ladies and gentlemen. It's like pulling a loose tooth. There it is. So that's what you're getting out of there. Now we need to do something about plugging this here hole right here. So I'm just going to tap it and put a bolt in there with a couple of O-rings. So it doesn't leak. Alright, so here's what I did. I know that some people tap and thread a bolt into there, and that's fine. That's what they did. What I did was just cleaned it up, put a little bit of JB weld around a bolt that fit in there nice and snug, threaded it in there, and then cleaned everything underneath with some carb cleaner so that we got all the pieces out of the engine block. I'm just going to clean up this surface and that surface and use a little bit of I'm not going to bother ordering a gasket or anything. I'll just RTV it. It is just a Woods rig. That's what it does. So if I blow that out, you'll see the video of us tapping that again. And if I don't, it'll last for however long it lasts. So we'll get this flipped back up, get those two surfaces clean, and get to putting this back together and working out how we're going to run our throttle cable and things like that. I'd like to thank you guys for coming by the VW Nut Garage. All of this stuff is going to take time to kind of cure and sit together, so in the next video we'll put it back on the mower and get to ripping it down the street without a governor.